Oh, hey, friends, it's Josh, Santa Barbara dog walker and Trust and Estates popinjay. And we're talking today about that period of time after mom dies and before the successor trustee is seated when the estate needs cash. What do you do during that period of time? So we see this a lot with families that don't put the checking account, the mom's operating account, into the trust. They just have it in mom's name. They've got the other trust assets, the house and the brokerage account, etc. But they keep the checking account outside. No sweat. If that's the fact pattern, that's the way you roll with it. So what are the solutions for having access to cash during that period before the trustee is actually seated? Because remember, there's some steps. After mom dies, we got to wait a little while, get a death certificate, get an EIN for the trust, a tax ID number for the trust, go into the bank with a trust certification, fill out some paperwork, prove that we're the right person to be the trustee, and then let's say a month later, the mom's checking account gets retitled into the administrative trust. But what do we do during that gap period? So many families have powers of attorney. So eldest daughter, we'll call her the successor trustee in waiting, not trustee yet because mom's not dead yet, will go into the bank with a power of attorney doc. The bank says, yeah, no sweat. You can be a co-signer on this account. You don't own the account with mom. You're not a joint account owner, but you have authority on the account. And eldest daughter thinks, well, I'll just use that account or that power after mom dies. But the problem is the power given to an agent under a power of attorney ends when mom dies. So though you were a signer the day before mom died, you no longer are able to be a signer after. Now there's some wobbler issue whether you actually tell the bank that mom's dead or not, but let's be squeaky clean and understand that the power of attorney doesn't work after mom's death. So that's the co-signer problem. Co-signer gets locked out. Now, if eldest daughter, successor trustee in waiting, is a joint owner on the account, like mom and daughter jointly, well, no problem. Because that asset passes free of probate, free of trust, free of anything, straight to eldest daughter. That may be fine for some families if they keep a modest amount in cash in the checking account. Like, who cares if $11,000 is in the checking account? But if it's like $100,000, then the sibs might be ticked off that because eldest daughter was a joint owner on the account, that money becomes hers free of trust. So careful of that one. Joint ownership solves the access to cash problem, but it might create another problem at Thanksgiving with the other family members. What other options could we do? We can have the eldest daughter just loan money. So mom's dead, we're waiting for 30 days to do the hoo-ha, fill out the paperwork, get all the stuff done, and some expense comes up, the mortuary expense. Eldest daughter, if she's got a credit card, could pay for it herself and know that, look, within a couple of weeks, I'm going to be the trustee. I'm going to have access to all this money. I'm going to go into the bank and fill out the forms, and mom's checking account becomes a trust asset. I'll have access to the other accounts that the trust owns. And then I'll just pay myself back. That's totally fine. You just need to keep good records of, hey, I fronted some money for the funeral expense or the bill for the in-home care or whatever the expenses are. Also, some eldest daughters are a little bit too quick to pay bills. Like, mom's dead. You don't have to be so forthright and punctual on paying the bills that mom has, because what the heck, like, take a breath, get the paperwork done. You don't have to have everything paid off tomorrow. So that's another, just delay until you become the trustee. What else can be done? Obviously, one solution is if mom's sick and increasingly less engaged in the management of her assets, mom could resign as trustee before she dies. Eldest daughter could become successor trustee before mom dies, and you could be working on this stuff ahead of time. You can start the EIN, you can get the EIN and transfer account names and stuff, start moving ahead of time. So those are the options. And there's probably a dozen other options that I haven't thought about during this dog walk. Give us a call if you need help with estate and trust drafting or review or settlement. We're in Santa Barbara, but we serve clients throughout California. Everything's done remotely. The website is trustee-help.com.